Hello, seventh grade. I hope all is well with you. When I was looking for a little image to put in today's lesson, I came across Throwback Thursday. I was like, oh, yes, let's do a Throwback Thursday. And it brought me to, my son, Anthony, who is an ICS alum. He was on the basketball team, and he recently got his own apartment and moved out. So Mr. Ash and I were cleaning out his bedroom, a few things he left behind, and we're painting. And I came across his ICS basketball jersey. He was number 5 on the basketball team. He loved basketball so much. And I originally started making this video yesterday, but my internet wasn't working. So I had this on yesterday, but I'm just going to show it to you today to talk about Throwback Thursday. So speaking of Throwback Thursday, I know that yesterday I asked you, what book are you reading in addition to the assignments that you have to do for your classes? And I do realize that many of you do not have the book access that you normally would have when we are in our regular classrooms. A lot of the public libraries have limited access. You don't have access to the classroom library or the ICS library. So I know that book access is not easy. So for Throwback Thursday, I just want to review Miss Zembrowski and I, way back when remote learning first started, we shared the resource with you that many of you are familiar with and some of you are utilizing it, but your Sora app, so if you just go to the ICS homepage and go to the Sora app, you all have access to literally thousands of books in our digital library. Miss Zembrowski is constantly purchasing titles for us. Mrs. Ash finished reading this one today, Nick Stone's Clean Getaway. On my morning walk today, I was listening to it and I finished it. And it's a little different than Nick Stone's regular, or the stories that I've read before. This one is our protagonist. He goes on an adventure with his grandma. He calls her Jima, and they learn lots about each other. It's definitely a coming of age story, and grandma has some secrets from her past that are unexpected, and you think grandmas are so sweet, baking cookies and loving their grandkids so much. And she does bake cookies and she does love her grandson so very much, but she has some secrets of her past that she reveals to her grandson along their journey. And I really enjoyed this book. So if you are a Nick Stone fan, you might enjoy this book as well. I'm about to return it. So if you are the type of reader that likes to listen with your ears, I'm returning my copy, so it will be available. I like how they tell me, books you might like. If you are interested if you read these books, you might like these books as well. This one I read recently, When Stars Are Scattered. I listened to it and I didn't realize when I listened to it that it was a graphic novel. So then I went back and read the graphic novel, because that's definitely a book meant to be read with your eyeballs so you can see all the beautiful illustrations as well. You can explore all of the titles that they have available to you. And like I said, there's literally thousands of books here. They're constantly adding new titles, updating to keep their shelves current. So if you browse through here, I'm sure there will be a book that you will find worthwhile and interesting to you if you peruse through all of the pages. I know I recently saw the new Alan Gratz. Many of you are Alan Gratz fans. His book Allies is on here. I think that's the one I'm going to listen to next. And this one sounds really interesting to me as well. Drag Teen. My daughter Sierra and I both love the show Drag Race, so that might be something I might read or listen to as well. But make sure you browse through here. You do have access to books, even though it's not the access that you normally have. You do have lots of access, so make sure that you are flexing your reading muscles and reading as much as you can. Let's go back to today's assignment. So we have been focusing on nonfiction. We've been looking at all sorts of mediums like podcasts and infographics and picture books, lots of different genres. Today, I want to take a look at one more medium that authors use to create their nonfiction writing, and that's interactive articles. And we'll take a look at that in just a moment. So today's assignment says, Listen to today's video lesson on interactive articles. That's what you're doing right now. In your Google Classroom, there's a wide variety of interactive articles to choose from. Choose one that looks interesting and read it closely. So in your Google Classroom, your page will look like this, and there's this Dogo news for kids. And when you go there, it's a plethora of articles on interactive articles on many different topics. So current events, science, social studies, the world around us, in the environment, fun, video, sports. This article looked interesting to me here about the world mourning the loss of Kobe Bryant. There's hundreds of articles under each tab, so you are sure to find something that is interesting to you. And my 8th graders are working on some kindness projects right now. So this article seemed especially interesting to me. Random acts of kindness during the coronavirus. Now, what is different between an interactive article and just a regular article? This is a magazine that I subscribe to, Backpacker Magazine, and it's filled with all kinds of articles. Here's an article called Train for the Trail, and it's your typical magazine article. And in a magazine article, you can see there are images, there are advertisements, there is lots of text that's organized into paragraphs. So what's the difference between an article that I might find in a magazine and interactive article? So just like an article you might find in a magazine, interactive articles, they have pictures, they have advertisements, but they have some other features as well that you can't get in a non-digital format like a magazine. So let's take a look at this article. Random acts of kindness bring joy during coronavirus outbreak. So we have an image, we have some advertisements right here, we have some advertisements for other articles here. Now, what makes this article interactive? As you notice, when even just in this first paragraph, with schools and businesses closed and many cities and towns under mandatory shelter-in-place orders, the novel coronavirus or COVID-19 has drastically changed lives globally within a matter of weeks. To bring joy, optimism, and strength during this difficult period, people and organizations worldwide are performing random acts of kindness for total strangers. Here are a few heartwarming deeds that will bring a smile to your face during these unprecedented times. What you'll notice right here, just in this first paragraph, is all of these vocabulary words that are highlighted. And the authors of this article know that young people are reading these articles and they might not know the definition of some of these vocabulary words. So what makes it interactive is that I can just click on the vocabulary word and the definition, the definition will pop up for me. So unprecedented, what does unprecedented mean? And here's the definition right here. It's an adjective, so it describes something without previous instance, never before known or experienced, unexampled or unparalleled, an unprecedented event. That's what we're experiencing right now. So that's one thing that is valuable in an interactive article. It can take us to links. If I'm reading this magazine and I don't know what one of the words means, I can't just click on it and get the definition. I have to do it the old-fashioned way and get a dictionary. But what's nice about this interactive article is that I can just click on the vocabulary word and it will give me more information about it. So that makes it interactive. Again, there's images and captions, just like in any other hard copy of an article. Pictures with captions, they can include those too. But what is nice about an interactive article that we would find on the internet is that if I kept reading and scrolling down, they can also embed videos in here. So this video is about some random acts of kindness that were happening in Italy. And then there's another video here about an artist helping students banish coronavirus blues, and I can watch that embedded video. So that makes interactive articles a little bit more interesting and gives us a little bit more information. And then there's some comments on the bottom that you can comment on the interactive article as well. In a magazine, a long time ago you could comment, but what you have to do is get out your pen and your paper and then mail in a letter to the editor, and then maybe a month or two later they might print that letter that you wrote. But now everything happens so quickly and you can comment on that article right away. So as you read, I want you to think about what are the pros and cons of this format of nonfiction. I love it. For me, one of the pros is definitely the vocabulary words where I can get the definition lickety split like that. One of the cons for me is that there's all of this other stuff that's going on that distracts me. And then I think, oh, there's another article about this. Oh, there's another article about that. Or, oh, let me see what's going on up here. What can I click? Oh, Facebook. I haven't checked my Facebook for a long time. Let me click at that. So sometimes the format that interactive articles use, there's lots of distractions that go along with it. So I have to remind myself to be especially focused. Let's see. I didn't even notice this earlier. Oh, we can't do that. We don't subscribe, but sometimes you can listen. Sometimes there will be a narrator that'll read the article for you. So that is what you'll do is you'll choose from the wide variety of articles. You can, if there's a certain topic that you want to read about. So choose an article, and as you're reading, think about what is great about this interactive article format, and am I being distracted anyway? What's negative? What don't I like about this format? When you're finished, let's get back. After reading the interactive article of your choice, complete the interactive article analysis form. This should look very familiar. We've been doing it for 2 weeks right now. There's a copy in your Google Classroom, and that, let's see, do I have the copy right here? What notable quotes or details from the article grabbed your attention? What surprised you, or what questions or comments did you have while reading? And then again, you'll think about, in addition to text, what other features did the author include to make the article more compelling? Write a brief summary of the article, and think about the central idea. What's the main idea of the article that you read? What are some themes you noticed in the article? And what connections can you make to the article? Again, this will be right in your Google Classroom. You can turn in your assignment there, or you can email it to me. Either way is fine. I prefer if you turn it in your classroom. Last but not least, share what you learned with somebody at home. And because it is Throwback Thursday, I added a few pictures down here of some good times. Throwback to when we were in the classroom. If you want to add your own Throwback Thursday picture down here, I'd be so happy to see it. Maybe it's a throwback baby picture that you add, or just any, Throwback Thursday photo that you want to add. I hope you are all doing well. I miss you, and please email me if you have any questions. I'll see you soon.